Yo! Welcome back to Semen Retention. Let's go! That's right, we're on the move. As always, we're back with another Semen Retention car special. Sitting in the driver's seat, as a retainer does, is always in the driver's seat. That's where it's at, you know. You can't be a passenger if you're on Semen Retention. That's actually a great name. That's a great name for this video. You can't be a passenger when you're on Semen Retention. So I've had a really good morning this morning. I've been going for a walk to the beach, had my breakfast. Was listening to a bit of a podcast episode about some mysteries of the universe. I'm a very inquisitive person. I love to get into esoteric subjects and dive deep into symbolism, into all these different things, and just go use my initiative to find out something new about this world. And I think what you got to do if you want to gain real wisdom in this realm is you have to go out of your way to research things, learn what is fake, learn what is real. By the way of doing that is going to be through you getting as much information as you can and coming up with your own decision on it. Sometimes when you understand the overarching kind of architecture and the frameworks of this whole kind of realm and society that we live in, you kind of understand that there are quite complicated things going on. There are quite corrupt things going along on this journey. And a lot of people on Semen Retention, they love to draw it all to women attraction and getting the woman of your dreams and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm sitting here on 14 months of pure Semen Retention and just thinking to myself, I don't think about that stuff. What I think about is basically awakening to the highest version of myself possible. I just saw 222 on the screen. So it's one of those things that you just start to think, what are these mysteries? What are these secret kind of schools and these secret clubs that people go to? And why is it that there is such a massive division between the kind of homeless and degenerate kind of people versus the actual kind of elites? And why is there such a huge gap in our world? Well, that's why, I'll tell you why. For starters, people aren't practicing Semen Retention. People aren't practicing celibacy. They're not practicing removing lust. Because when you remove lust from your vision, from your environment, from your being, and lust isn't something that you can remove. It's going to be with you forever. You just have to learn how to squander it. So when you learn how to do that, you start to understand all these games and all these models and manipulative things that are going along, and you start to realize that significant others and partners and am I going to be alone or blah blah blah, all that's kind of minute, irrelevant stuff. Really, I don't think your whole being has to boil down to having a family. If your whole goal is about having a family, that's because you probably you think your lineage, you think your legacy, you think your bloodline, all this kind of BS stuff is relevant. You think it means something. It doesn't mean anything, bro. Your legacy and your future means nothing in incarnations of people that you've actually given birth to and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean anything. You can have more of a profound effect on this planet by just being you and being your authentic self without any partner at all. And I'm not saying that people that have kids or people that have partners have no meaning or no legacy on this planet and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that you don't need those things, and in fact those things can be what drag you down into missing out on sharing your legacy with the world. It's missing out on sharing your genius, your uniqueness, missing out on sharing those insights, those downloads that you get because you've got some woman in your bed like screaming at you at the morning saying, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done this? Blah, 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 blah. Or you've got some kid that's like, you know, saying, I want that, I want this, I want that, daddy, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like suddenly, before you know it, you're a 70-year-old man that's like tinkering in his shed just thinking about how he can't even put things together anymore because his hands are busted and he's disgusted. Like, he's like, damn, I've got to a point where I'm like, I'm just out here fiddling with my tools. I didn't get to achieve the things that I actually wanted to achieve in my life because I decided to follow the narrative of this manipulative game that this society throws upon us. I've got some organic, locally sourced mandarins. See, the thing about fruit is really interesting. I digress at the moment, but the thing about fruit is it's a taste thing. Your detection of how fruit is as far as its health goes, these days you can't tell the difference between organic and inorganic fruit. You actually have to bite the apple, unfortunately. So what I taste is like, I taste like a bit of sourness. I taste a bit of sweetness, and I don't get that overly watery kind of genetically modified, you know, kind of BS that they feed us. I can taste this and be like, that's unique. And that's the same thing about being a retainer, is that you're going to have this kind of taste. You're going to have this kind of scent about you. You know, people are going to obsess over you, and you're going to be a taste in their mouth that they can't spit out because it's so potent. You're like chili, or you're like, you know, curry or whatever, like a spice that's lingering inside people's mouths, and they're doing everything they can to spit you out. That's actually a lyric of mine. But basically, the whole thing is that people will realize the potency of your aura, the potency of your magnetism, and they might not actually like you, but they're obsessing over you. It's weird, bro. I'm telling you, this is just everyday life of retainer, okay? So I was deep into discovering new things this morning, and oh man, some of the crazy things. I want you guys to do your own little research and look into this topic, okay? This is all I'm going to say. Look into the black sun. Look into the black sun. I like that. Look into the black sun. Search it up. Anyway, so sorry, pardon me. Some of this mandarin got stuck in my throat. So yeah, being a passenger on like, you know, Kuma time, everyone's taking you for a ride. I said in my video yesterday about how, you know, Kumas are the economy. Kumas are the people that are out there consuming, you know, paying for OF, they're paying for everyone else to achieve something except for themselves. I was talking to my friend about professional sport, and I was saying I don't really follow it these days, and he was like saying, yeah, I don't either. I think the AFL, which is a sport league in Australia, he said, I think the AFL is basically just it's really for losers. Like, it's for the people that watch it, the people that are fans. It's like, really, it is really like a loser kind of mentality, like to go watch other men run around earning hundreds and thousands of dollars whilst you sit in an arena watching them earn money, sometimes faking it, sometimes completely doing the wrong thing and manipulating results, and therefore creating like a bad kind of like bad experience. People don't want to see professional sportsmen like kick the ball like a 10-year-old, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, it is a real loser kind of thing. And all those sports and stuff like that, they're all run by gambling companies. They're all run by all these different organizations that keep you in that Kuma kind of low vibrational state. So, like, this is the thing, is those people are passengers in life. They're the passenger princess. They think that they've got the playlist and they're listening to the music and they're singing along and they're like, oh, this is so great. But the lyrics that they're singing is literally manifesting frequencies and ideas into their lives that's making it worse. So they sit there being the passenger princess, singing about, oh, she's a devil, she's a badass, she's a rebel, and it's just like, okay, next thing you know, this person's cursing their whole family, and all their members in their family are getting all these health issues and stuff like that. You can't make it up. So you don't be a passenger princess when you're on semen retention. You're the baby driver. you're the Fast and Furious, You're the Michael Schumacher. What's his name? The Macquarie dude. You're him. Anyway, so why wouldn't you want to be in that position? Why wouldn't you want to be the person that's in the driver's seat? Why wouldn't you be the one person that is able to navigate through things, is able to dodge things, is able to, weave and swerve around traffic incidences? And this is all metaphorical, guys, okay? So, like, let's say that there's another one of those things coming, and they bring out another one of those juicies, and basically what happens is, you realized, I'm on Semen retention, I'm on semen retention, I don't want to participate in that game anymore. So being a driver, being the guy that's behind the steering wheel, you swerve around it. You're like, okay, I'm happy to be ostracized, I'm happy to be hermit mode for however long it takes, but I'm not going to submit to that. Whereas a passenger's there sitting, listening to the radio station, being like, ooh, she's a devil, she's a pink pony club, ah. And then they're just like, and they're like, no, you've got to do the right thing. Oh, my heart. I can't breathe. Give me some Ozempic, bro. I know someone, and I was hanging out with her like probably 9 months ago, and she was on Ozempic, and it was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. I've never seen someone so like depleted in their energy. I've never seen someone so sick and gaunt and so lacking in natural life force energy. Yeah, she was overweight at some points. Was she obese? I don't think so. I never saw her like obese. But you know, within what I saw, and she said she got really big at one stage, and I was just like, all right, whatever. Like, this is a friend I've known since high school and stuff. And then she goes on and says, you know, that she's been taking this or whatever. And then when we're going for a drive with all our mates in my car and stuff, she has to get out of the car every 30 minutes to go, you know, to go chuck up because she's taken this disgusting, you know, Ozempic. And all these people are getting health issues. I'm gonna make a whole episode about testosterone and like TRT and how for semen retainers We don't need TRT. Like, our testosterone is cultivating within us, and the more we retain, the more these like this, like, I guess you could say, self-cleansing, self-flushing, like stem cells, red blood cells, you know, all these good kind of things flowing through our body cleans itself out, and that will in itself boost your testosterone levels. Being less stressed is going to boost your testosterone levels. Combine that with semen retention, man, you don't need anything else. Yeah, sure, there's going to be some dude that naturally has more testosterone than you. That's just a fact, bro. Okay, just deal with it. Okay, cool. There's that dude that's like 6 foot 4 that looks like Greek Adonis, and he's got that chiseled chin, you know, massive gains, and he never even lifted in his whole life. That's just a genetic thing. But the last thing you want to do is get on TRT. No, I'm not going to talk about it now. I can't be bothered talking about that. But anyway, to summarize this episode of Semen Retention, please, guys, if you're new to my channel, you know, check out my other videos. We talked about interesting topics. So I'm going to start expanding the Semen Retention brand into different branches and stuff. We're going to get a bit deeper down the rabbit hole. You know, once I kind of reformat a few things, we're going to get into that. But yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to expand the topics. But just to leave you on today's kind of main message is, you don't want to be a passenger princess on semen retention. You want to be the man in the driver's seat. Whereas if you're not on semen retention, you aren't in the driver's seat, bro. You aren't in the driver's seat. As much as you might think you are not in control, bro. That's just a fact. I'm going to leave it with you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Let's go, brothers. Keep holding on.